Namaste. Did you try to namaste away from me? Did you? Namaste, my Zen zebras. Namaste, my merry mermaids. My merry mermen. My Zen zebras, I said that. My Bella butterflies. Oh yeah. Hi everybody. Namaste. Okay. Yeah, it's finally here. I'm sure I'm gonna disappoint. Oh, what, this hat? It still has a tag on it. Okay, this is my hat that I bought for my trip because I want to make sure, and also for my walking, to make sure that even with sunglasses on, you have to cover your whole, keep the sun off your face. So okay, yeah, if you notice my eyebrows look weird, it's because I tried to color them in. Okay, wait, now this is gonna bother me, and you might say, your car is a mess, why would that bother you? Why would that one little thing bother you? Okay, so guys, one good thing, there's a lot of good things in the world, but why do I look like I have a comb over? Okay, I don't know why I have a comb over. Okay, anyhow, a good thing that's going on in the world is I got my magnet put back in my phone, so now I don't have to hold it. We'll put it up there so you can just see my chins. Anyhow, let's get this lit up. All right, I got my coffee from Stripes. Okay, it's not good. It's not that good. Okay, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. It's a lot. I prefer to like it. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Let me start off with a good note. Okay, so let me try to get this lit. This is not lighting. I'm using my new lighter. I didn't bring the lighters from Ruby in the car. So Bella Butterflies, Namaste Ninjas, Zen Zebras, Bella Butterfly, I said that. Unique Unicorns. Unique Unicorns. Here we go. Yeah, we need some sage. We need some Palo Santo up in this biatch. We need some Palo Santo up in our world. Yeah, see it? This is a thick one. That's what she said. Oh. All right, guess what? This is God's honest truth. Isn't this pretty? Okay, God's honest truth. I go into Stripes because I said to Devin, I gotta get out of here. All right? I'm taking care of my little doggie. She's okay. As much as a dog that has like this cast thing can be. She's a little bit listless, but you know, seems like a heart is good and everything. So thank you for the prayers, and let's just leave it at that. We go back on Monday, giving her like 7 pills a day. It's a lot of medication, and Benadryl twice a day seems to be helping her with, I guess, the swelling, but she just lays in her bed and has maybe 15 minutes of activity where she can actually stay up. But sometimes I see her in there and she's just looking around. She's blind, so she hears sounds and she's just looking around. So I'll go in there and I'll pet her, and then I'll take her out and I'll hold her. But she doesn't like me to hold her too much around her stomach because she has all kinds of like cysts and tumors. And I guess we'll find out more on Monday, but thank you for the prayers, everybody. Let's get this. This is for Johnny Depp the Johnny Depp video that I'm sure I'll disappoint. But anyhow, I got my notes. I got my information in my head every night, every day and night. I've been watching it like a lot of you out there. And then I started to feel pressure because I'm like, yeah, people are saying, oh, what about that Johnny Depp? And I'm saying that to myself because it's on my list, right? And then the more I think about it, the more I procrastinate. But I do take notes. Anyhow, I asked my spirit guides to be with me for this reading. I forgot to bring out my other necklaces, but I do have my rose quartz from Crystal Medicine, which always gives me good luck. I'm not going to kiss it because I just put on a whole bunch of lipstick. All right. So, yeah, the energy has been whacked out. Do you feel it? Empaths, light workers, and just human beings out there? The energy is really weird. Okay. Stagnant. And we got to keep ourselves positive. And I was losing that battle because when I don't work like that, there wasn't any work today, actually, so that's a whole week of no work. There was no jobs. Actually, the schools were closed. The teachers had a professional day today. You didn't click on for that. Okay, so let me get started. All right, so I am here to talk about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. And I'm kind of glad that the universe did not give me the energy or the wherewithal to do the reading earlier, because I would have just seen Johnny's testimony and not Amber's, aside from what she did in the past, like 10 years ago. She looks different. She looks totally different. I know you're talking about a 25-year-old and then now she's 36. Okay, and Johnny Depp is my age, 58, okay, and he's about to be 59, just like I'm about to be 59 in September. Start saving, okay? Anyhow, no, so Johnny Depp is a Gemini, Amber Heard is a Taurus. So right there is not good news, because we have an air sign for Gemini and we have an earth sign. They're opposites. They can be attracted and whirlwind, but they're just really so opposite that, yeah, like the nagging and, yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna be all over the place because that's me, all right? But I do need to light this again. So sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. All right, yeah. So I'm going to do my cold read, and then I'm going to refer to my notes, all right? And I ask the spirit guides of Johnny Depp that are in heaven. Yeah, I know that everybody's alive, but somebody said to me, I think it was either my friend, my purple pal Carol, or from Connecticut, or my JW, Juanita from Louisiana, that said, when I said, I don't need to say prayers for the Johnny Depp trial reading because he's not dead, nobody's dead, right? And then either Carol Plant or JW said, yeah, you do. They just because they're not dead, that doesn't mean they don't need prayers, or that doesn't mean that you don't need to pray. And you're absolutely right. I stand corrected. You are absolutely right, because I thought about that. And so I just want you to say, I do appreciate when people do school me. No, just correct me in a way. I'm serious. I'm not being shady. I'm not being shady mystic Brady right now. Being for reals, okay? Because, yeah, they do need prayers. And the more I listen to both psychologists for Amber Heard, the more I felt in my heart, if she does indeed have a condition called borderline personality disorder. If she does have it, or if she does have, I don't think she has bipolar, because that's a whole different, like, you change your emotions from minute to minute, hour to hour, and borderline personality is more of disorder, was more of, well, I'll read my notes, because guess what, guys, I am not a traveling psychologist in my car. I am not a doctor in any sense. And so if you need medical help and psychological attention, please go seek that out from a trained professional. I'm just your average traveling psychic in my car that's very messy, okay? And I'm just an empath, and all of what I say is according to myself, according to what I've observed, because I told you, I always look at the facts. I have been watching the case. It's not like I'm not watching the case and I'm saying this whole thing. Matter of fact, I didn't really have that much of an opinion before I watched the case. I had a little bit of an opinion. It was very much on Johnny Depp's side. But then, as I watched it, I guess because Amber Heard could be the age of my daughter, and I said, you know, would you want somebody to treat your daughter like that if they had all these kinds of things, personality disorder, or, you know, things up with them? And my answer was no. So why would I try to be mean on somebody else? So I will try, as much as I love Johnny Depp, and I'm not like a big, like, I don't know I can't quote every friggin' movie he did, because he did a lot, but it's just that he's from my generation, and the things that I know about him, I really admire. And in essence, I feel soul-wise, I always felt that he was real, that he was being real, that he wasn't a phony. Okay, everybody does have a mask that they wear. I think I was discussing that when I was talking about Taurus. Everybody, and ironically, she's Taurus. Anyway, no, every single person, me too, me included, of course, everybody has a mask that they wear. You wear it to work. You're not going to just act your emotional self to the people at work. You wear it to the gas station. Okay, oh, here's a weird thing. Okay, I have to digress. And if you're one of those people that, like, get to the friggin' point, this was supposed to be about the trial, and you're talking about yourself, well, that's me. Okay, have you met me? My name is Mystic Brady. I am annoying, okay? My husband tells me he's trying to watch the Taurus video because he's Taurus. I told him not to watch it, but I didn't think he was going to listen. I told him, well, you never watch my videos, so how would you know? And he goes, about an hour later, I see him in the living room, and he goes, you know what? I go, oh, you watched the video? You mad at me? And he goes, no. He goes, you never taught me anything about what's going to happen for me. I go, oh, really? Did you really watch it carefully? He goes, oh, you were talking about yourself. You're talking to the statues. You're talking to crystals. He goes, I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, okay, be one of those people. Be a hater. Okay, troll. All right. You're going to be a Taurus troll? Anyway, you're supposed to be my husband. Anyway, he goes, no, you just didn't teach me anything. I'm sorry, you didn't teach me anything. I go, how dare you? That was really mean of you to say that. Okay, but obviously, I go, I spent an hour and 39 minutes making that video. He goes, yeah, I don't have an hour and 39 minutes. I go, you sit here for like 5 hours a day watching TV, watching the news. I think you can give me an hour and 39 minutes and to see what's going to happen for Taurus. And I did. The only thing I left out for Taurus is I told you I was going to do a body scan, because that was a new thing that I could do. that I was trying out, and I didn't do that, and he told me, oh no, don't do that. I was like, why? It could be good medically. He goes, but you're not a doctor. I said, I know I'm not a doctor, but what I feel for Taurus, and he has this problem too, is what I do is I scan the body and I think in my head, what do I need to know about Taurus's health? What do I need to know about Taurus's health 2022? What should they watch out for? So when I scanned Taurus, I felt everything was in the esophagus and the stomach area. So it's esophagus, throat, esophagus, heart, lungs, and stomach, gallbladder, liver, okay, but mostly the stomach area. Now, Johnny Depp, when I scan him, he definitely has something, maybe he has a fatty liver, because I've never seen him fill out so much on the, and you know that they have Spanx on and all kinds of things that are trying to make him look good, probably very uncomfortable. But, he's a 58 and a half year old man. Okay, and he's not that tall. So, hey, I'm 5'2". I know the struggle. But when I scan him, and I'm not a medical doctor, I'm just scanning him psychically. I told you it's a new thing I do. And I believe in myself. So what I'm seeing on him is liver, fatty liver. He could reverse it. He has to be careful. There's some damage that has been done. Okay, I know. I did the same. I had fatty liver. I had high bilirubin, which has to do with the liver, and I tried to fix it with a lot of vitamin E and early in the day, and then vitamin E at night, and all the vitamins I take. I told you about that, and of course, you be careful with drinking. Okay. Anyhow, Taurus, what you have to worry about is if you have GERD, there's something and ulcers, constant reflux. You can't just keep on throwing pills at it. You got to deal with it metaphysically. You got to do the affirmations. You got to calm your system down, say things when you want to say them, get them out. Don't have so much anger. Okay, that's all in this area. Wearing a lot of green, which Devin does listen to me at least. And I said to him, will you listen to me? Will you say a couple affirmations? It might help you GERD. And he was like, yeah, I will. But then I didn't give it to him on a silver platter. Okay, sorry. I will give it to him, but you probably won't say them. But he has looked at like Jason Stevenson music when he was having the heart issues. And I gave him the iPad with Jason Stevenson, all for the heart chakra. He would listen to it and just even play cards and look at it every once in a while. I did make him a canvas that he does look at, that is for the heart. But the colors for you, Taurus, that I see very handy will be everything to do with green, for the heart chakra, everything green. Start wearing green more often, having green drinks more often. Green and pink, okay? Because those are the two heart chakras. Okay, so we're done with your Taurus until we talk about Amber Heard, who is a Taurus. Anyway, so here's my cold read. All right, how many minutes? 18 minutes in. I am so sorry. All right, look what I have for later, guys. I know a cop should come over here. No, I mean, I have that, and I have some chips. But anyhow, it's Friday. It's my favorite day. Even if I'm feeling sad, I get myself into Friday mode, all right? Even though Friday just means, watching TV and maybe doing a reading or just popping my drinks back. Actually, my pool is ready. I just need to put the chlorine in it, and anybody could go swimming, which nobody will go swimming with me, so looks like I'm gonna have to go by myself, but I don't mind that. Sorry that my hair is greasy. I want to go in the pool because I want to get this blue out so that I could put the purple in. Yeah. It's going to happen. Okay, so my cold read on Johnny Depp was that, yeah, and I've said this before, he is no angel, okay? But he's also not an abuser of women. He's had many girlfriends, and he's had a significant other, the mother of his 2 children, Jack and Lily and Jack, that, you know, could testify, I'm sure, on his behalf, but he won't put them through that. But they've had, except for Jack, Lily and his ex-wife or ex-significant other, I don't think they ever got married, have said things on his behalf that he was never had a violent bone in his body. But here's the thing, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, you know, it's a severe addiction. Addictions different drugs do make you act differently. It messes up the serotonin and the dopamine in your brain. It could make you act a different way, whereas like maybe you never break anything, but when you're on this, suddenly you're falling and you're breaking things and you're shouting, okay? But usually it doesn't change your personality to the fact that you become a killer or you become a rapist. And basically that's what she's accusing him of, that you know, he would just pummel her face and, you know, 10 times and kick her in the back and for no reason cold cock, bottles thrown at her and put inside her. And you know what, I hope that's not true. I hope that is not true. But this is what I feel about him. Did he yell and scream? Yeah, you hear him yelling and screaming and being like fall down drunk. But you don't ever hear in all these audio tapes him saying that he hit her. He did admit to putting her down, taking her by the shoulders and putting her down on the bed to sit down because he said that she was swinging at him and she punched him several times. But this is what I feel. I feel like his personality did not go the right way because the increase of drugs, the increase of drinking, and combination of her in his life. Okay, some people are the wrong combination with our chemistry. At first they might have thought, and you have to understand, they were not married long. They got married in, I think, 2015. They knew each other in 2011, but they didn't get together till 2012 because he was still in the relationship with the mother of his kids, right? So you have 2012, 13, 14, and in between, before 2015, fist fights supposedly are happening, things broken, and he admits to breaking things in hotel rooms and houses. He does admit to that. But he said he never hit her or sexually abused her in any way. Okay? He didn't headbutt her. Like, so he's saying no. She's saying, so it's he said, she said. And it's totally, you know, blaming it on each other. Okay? So we might never know what exactly happened for real. So what I'm doing is, in my heart and from observing the hours and hours of trial, and actually the audio I listened to, there's a 2.5 hour audio. I listened to it, okay? Yeah, I did fall asleep. I think I got to an hour and a half of it, and I fell asleep. I did go back the next day or maybe 2 days later and listen to the rest, but the rest there was a lot of downtime, like there was nothing being said. Anyhow, I truly feel, aura-wise, that he was enamored by her. And like he was in a relationship with his significant other, Vanessa, for 14 years, I believe it was. And so sometimes, I guess, maybe, and especially in Hollywood, that's a long time. That's a long relationship, Hollywood time, right? So like, kudos for that. But sometimes, I guess, relationships get stale, relationships get boring, that's normal. It's normal for that to happen. And he's traveling around, he's doing movies, and I guess his wife, or Vanessa, was home with the kids. And then the kids get to be teenagers and they need you less. And then you have to look at your life in a different way when your kids go from being babies to children to now teenagers. They're independent. They're more independent. They don't really need you. Okay? They just need your money. All right? But I mean, they need your love, but they don't need you, So sometimes a man or a woman has a midlife crisis during that time. And so you start looking outside the marriage. And, I don't know this by heart. Okay? Don't think I'm talking about myself. But I'm just talking in general. Be real. And they start looking, and then he's on the movie set all the time, so really doesn't have that much downtime, or he's doing his music or whatnot. Oh, I like the blue, grayish blue. It's almost hag hair again, but anyhow. So basically, I'm seeing him intuitively being, blown away by, I almost called her Heather, by Amber's, I guess, beauty and charm and youth, and she was very pretty, very beautiful. I don't think she's that beautiful now. I don't know what happened, what she used, what she put in her cheeks, or maybe it's just age. I don't know. But she's not ugly, but she just doesn't have that, like, she was like stunning. She was just like, she came across beautiful on the screen, the big screen. I didn't think she much of as an actress, but she was believable as an up and coming actress, I thought. Okay, but I noticed when she would ever do an interview, she seemed a little off, like there was a coldness to her. Yeah, she gave Johnny compliments because everybody was always asking her about Johnny. Maybe that made her annoyed, okay? And then I'll talk about the personality in a second. Let me just take a sip. Okay, so where is it? Okay, so I just believe that he was in love with her, and maybe she was in love with him, but she wasn't in love with the Johnny Depp that was not famous, that was young, that was, starting out. She was well aware and in love with the Johnny Depp that was already on the screen, already has loads of money, loads of houses, places to go and things like that, and lots of pull in the industry, okay? But do I believe that she loved him? Yeah, I believe she definitely loved him, had feelings for him. But let's face it, she knew who he was when she got into the relationship with him. She knew damn well who he was, and she was probably enamored with, his status. Okay, and he was very kind to her. And so, all right, fast forward, they fell in love. Now they're going to be an item. Right from the start, right from the beginning of their relationship, there's fighting. And another thing on the stand that she did not admit to. Johnny admitted to drinking too much, doing cocaine, doing pills, to use them pain pills instead of using them for pain. He took them as recreation. So that's using pain pills the wrong way, okay? And smoking pot, right? And a bunch of other stuff. I think mushrooms or whatever. I don't even know the names. MDM. I don't even know what that is, really. Okay? And I'm glad I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is. But anyhow, yeah, so that could adjust your personality. That could change you. That could kind of twist you a little bit. But it generally doesn't turn somebody who doesn't beat people up into somebody that beats people up, okay? If he never had that kind of, he drank when he was in his other relationships, when he was with Winona Ryder, when he was with Vanessa, he always smoked pot, he always drank, he always did cocaine or whatever he did, okay? And I'm sure sometimes he got clean, which she admitted he did. Amber Heard did admit that Johnny did get clean from time to time. But in essence, I see him saying exactly, yeah, I did these drugs. I drank, I did this too much, I did that. And you could tell him thinking about it and a little bit like, happy with some of the memories, because, yeah, that's why people drink and do drugs, because they want to be out of pain. They want to have a happy feeling. They want to feel good about themselves. They want to feel peaceful about something that was traumatic in the past, and they don't want to think about that anymore. They want to just be feel like they're in an angel's hand or God's hand, okay, and just floating on a cloud. Okay, I get that. That's part of the reason why I drink sometimes. Okay, sometimes? Okay, anyhow. This isn't about me. All right. One thing. In Stripes, when I went in to get my salsa, but I ended up getting beer and chips and stuff, the guy behind the counter, he said, that's $19.92. And I was like, ooh, that's a lot for some candy and chips and 2 beers and a coffee. Anyway, I look up at him. First thing I see is all his rings are silver, and they look like Johnny Depp. And I think I saw a tattoo. Then I look up, and he's got the hair, and he's got the dark, his glasses, Johnny Depp's glasses that are like that bluish tint. He's got that on, and he's got the brown hair with the long pieces on the side. And I'm like, oh my God, this must mean something. I almost said to him, did anybody ever tell you look like Johnny Depp? I knew he would say yes. But then I was going to be like a stalker and say, can I take a picture of you? And then I don't think he would like that, because that's kind of weird. What's that? Oh, it's my hair. I didn't know what that was. It's like a little curl. Oh, it's part of my bang. Look, my bangs grew in a little bit. Okay. I didn't know what that was. That scared me. Okay, anyhow. It's my comb over. Okay, so Johnny Depp, I believe, when I sat and watched his testimony about his childhood, his sister's testimony first his sister, it triggered everything in me. It brought back a lot of memories that I have, and I totally friggin' get it. I get 34 minutes in. Okay. The only reason why I'm rushing is because Devin was trying to call me, and I don't want to lose this video, so I didn't call him back. Oh, anyhow. If I stop and I don't finish, I'll come back, but I want to finish. Trust me, I want to finish. Okay. Anyway, it triggered me because I got hit with the belt. Okay. I didn't have a mother that was violent, but I had a father that was alcoholic and violent, and very violent. And we got beat with the belt. And my mother tried to, protect us as much as we could, as she could. but we still got hit, and a lot of abuse, and you know, me and my sister's heads get smashed together, and terrible things, and that I'm not going to talk about. But this is what happens when you have something. And I've gone to therapy. I've had, this girl had therapy in the 80s, had therapy in the 90s, and had therapy in the 2000s. Okay, I'm done with therapy because, you know, there comes a point where it's just like nobody wants me to sit on their couch anymore. No, only kidding. But even if you have therapy, you could still fall back into these patterns, because you can't always be a perfect person. You can't always be maybe a sober person, or and do everything, you know, like a robot, because we're human. Our human nature comes in, different things come into your mind, you know, that upset you or remind you about something that happened, and you have to tell yourself constantly, you are safe. I am safe. What happened to me is not happening right now. I'm a survivor. I got over it. I got through it, and I'm alive. Okay? And I survived, and I didn't treat my children like that. Okay? Which I think is a connection that I had with Johnny Depp, because he was saying how he wanted to do the opposite of what his parents did to him. And he had a lot of kudos for his father, because his father he's, you know, according to his sister and himself, his father was abused by the mother. He would just stand there, and she would scream and yell. I don't know if she would hit him, but scream and yell at him, and abuse him, be abusive to him, degrading to him. And he would just stand there, and he would go to work, and he would come back. And then I think when he was 15, his father finally left. So he says that he would just stay there, or he would run away from his mother when his mother started her tirade and started being abusive, and would tell the father to hit him with the belt, but she would also hit him and the sister with switches, which that's like, I thought that was an old-fashioned thing, but I guess back in we grew up in the 70s, so in the 70s, I guess you could go outside and get a thing off the tree and bring it in. I didn't have that, but we had the belt, and we had the hand. Anyway, when you're in that kind of traumatic situation, often you go after the same type of personality. You think you're not doing it, but for some reason it feels comfortable to you, okay? And so the person might be charming and whatnot, but then all of a sudden traits from that person that abused you when you were younger, but maybe, you know, they seem like your parent, they seem like your mother or your father. And the reason why people stay is because it feels familiar, and then you love them, and you think that it's going to get better, and you think it's something you did. And if you can only change this part of yourself, and then especially if you yourself, like Johnny, was, you know, abusing drugs and alcohol, and then fell off the wagon several times, so then he thought that was why Amber was upset with him, or that was why any kind of argument started. It must be because he did something wrong, fell off the wagon. When he was younger and his mother would yell at him for no reason, you know, he was a little kid, you know, little kids, they could be annoying, but they're not bad. And he just would try to escape, try to get away from the yelling and the screaming. So his pattern was to run into the bathroom, to run into another room, to run outside, okay, if you can get outside. So he was doing the same thing with Amber, only Amber wouldn't let him go. And now let me get to her. Okay, so I believe him. I don't believe that he is a little perfect angel, because nobody is, except children and animals. Okay, I do believe he was jealous. I do believe that he was insecure about himself being an older man with a younger woman. And I do believe that she was very flirtatious. And intuitively, I feel like he is very, I feel like he was empathetic and more of an empath and very psychic. Maybe he hasn't tapped into it, but I feel like because he's musical, he's, he's an artist, he's a painter, he's a singer, he's a musician, he is an actor. I mean, he's so many things. He's not just an actor, I will be, the pirate, I will play this part, that part. He doesn't even really like acting as much as he likes art and music. He wishes that he was a famous singer. That's what he wished that he was famous for. One second. I need some more adrenaline. Okay. No, I don't. My heart feels like it's going to pop away. Yeah. There's definitely a stress disorder because I'm feeling it energy right now. And the energy between the two of them, that's why they were both doing drugs. That's why it was like terrible that she was not admitting to her 2-bottle a week, and it was like 10,000 a week for a bottle, or 10,000 a month for wine. You could just go drink batch wine for $12.99. Now it went up to $13. Anyhow, rich people, they spend their money stupidly, but she didn't admit to her drug use. She did not admit to her. She played like an angel. She acting like, all these things were done to her and all she was trying to do was get Johnny's boots off. No. Okay. So, I mean, she had trauma in her childhood. Here's her trauma. Her father was an alcoholic. Okay. So was mine. Am I beating up Devin, or did I beat up my ex-husband? No. It's more the other way around. Okay. Okay, her mother was a heroin addict? I don't know, allegedly. And this is all allegedly for entertainment reasons only. That man is getting too close. Where is he? Where is he? Keep walking, man. Keep walking. All right? You don't need to slow down. Why are you leaning on... See, he's leaning on the pole. Do you see him, guys? All right. He could be tired. Can you see him? Okay, guys. I'll try to keep it moving, but it irks me. I'm sorry about all the makeup. There's too much makeup because it's like starting to crack here. See, I have too many wrinkles. Oh my gosh, I have so many wrinkles. All right, I don't like that he's standing there. I'm gonna put you down. All right, he continued to walk. All right, so I'm okay. Yeah, it just got me nervous, but I'm sure he just lives around here, and he's so skinny because he walks so much. Anyway, so she's not admitting to her drug use, okay? But she did say, "Oh, I never did any cocaine." And the doctor, there was a doctor and nurse that were available on the trips, and they said that she admitted to doing Adderall, I think Xanax, I don't know, a whole laundry of things, but not cocaine. Okay, so whatever. But she needs to admit that she was doing drugs that would mix with her medications, because she was on medications as well, for the bipolar syndrome. Now, I don't know exactly everything on paper, so I'm going to refer to my notes, but my intuitive read and my feeling on the whole case is that, yeah, Were they a great couple together? They were probably very passionate in the beginning. They did not get to know each other enough. They thought that having fights that they would always get better, and then he would be apologetic, then she would be apologetic, but he was jealous. I feel it anytime there's any talk of her with James Franco or even Elon Musk. He was kind of over her by then because they were broken up, but I think they were broken up when Elon Musk was in the picture, but he saw something in her. He witnessed something. This is what I hear. He witnessed something for real. He witnessed her doing something sexual or flirting, sexualized, and he never trusted her. And but she trusted him. You know what she trusted him? She trusted that he would not cheat on her. I don't believe he ever cheated on her. To this day, I think he will always have trouble with any relationship. Like everybody says, why doesn't he get back with Vanessa? Vanessa got married to somebody else. I don't know if she's still married, but she definitely moved on. They still have a good friendship. But yeah, I would like him to get back with Winona Ryder. But I don't know if that's going to happen. There's so many years. But I don't see him ever recovering to go with somebody new, to have a relationship with somebody new, because this is devastating and it's not even over. They have like a week break or something, and we're not going to come back till the 16th of May. All right, so that's a long time to have in between. But the last couple of times that she was talking, she said explicit, violent things that he allegedly did to her, and now it doesn't look so good for him. Like, there will be no winners at the end of this, even though there's so many people team Johnny, and then maybe there's a few team Amber. There will be no winners. Okay, yeah, will he have some money to still live off of? His life will be forever changed because it'll be tinged. Even though most people who know him, believe in him, love him, but they also will have a question mark. And even if Disney came and on a platter, yeah, would he accept it? He says no now, but he might. You never know. He might accept it. What would be good is if he writes a book and stars in it, or picks the people to star in the movie of his life, dating back to his childhood, talking about his childhood and how far he came. It was almost like on a fluke. He was trying to do the music thing and he got discovered. I don't know the severe details on that, but now I'm just going to refer to my notes because this is really going on long. Okay, so we have a victim, an abuser, and then the helper. And the helper goes to the victim. Okay, so there's always somebody in their life, like traveling with their doctors, and nurse is available, security. They have all these people around them. And what she was saying is, when he kicked her in the back on the plane, nobody did anything about it. Okay? And I'm trying to figure out, is that true? Because I don't feel like he's an abusive person. But when you bring drugs into the mix, you change into a different person. Okay? So, but why wouldn't anybody say anything on her behalf? The nurse did say that her lip was a little bit bleeding, a little bit cracked. Other people have said that they saw some scratches on her, but they could be self-inflicted. Okay? Now, some of the testimony and the paperwork that I looked through, they said that Amber Heard had some schizophrenia symptoms, unwanted thoughts, feelings of paranoia, feelings of abandonment. Okay, and supposedly the story is that she grew up in Texas, and when her father was out, drunk or whatever, and her mother was high on drugs and wouldn't wake up, she had to get up out of bed, get breakfast for her sister, and make sure her sister got dressed and she got dressed and sent herself to school. Okay, so she has survival techniques. Supposedly she was physically abused from her father. Okay, that could be. Maybe she, that's why she picks the wrong people. She picks people that drink and drug to get into a relationship with, because she feels comfortable in that role. And she did say that she tried to change him, and a lot of people do that. I did that too, but we all find out we're not going to change anybody except ourselves. Okay, so I'm just going to read some of my notes. So I was getting a strong feeling that she's very much a narcissist, and that Johnny, and this is according to myself, that Johnny Depp was more of an empath, and narcissists are always magnetically drawn to empaths. Narcissists, want somebody who's pliable and who will feel sorry for them when they, want sympathy, want loads of sympathy. So that's why that connection could be. She has had relationships where she either was married to a woman before, or just her significant other was a woman, and she smacked that woman. She was violent to that woman for some reason, and they have a police report, but for some reason in this case that could not be brought in. And I think that's a bunch of BS to not bring that in, because that shows a pattern that she is abusive, that she's the one who was violent. I mean, if you listen to the tapes, she admitted, I hit you, don't be such a pussy. No one's going to believe you in a court. Go into a court and say, I was beat up, I'm Johnny Depp, and I was beat up and I was hit by my girlfriend. She goes, see how many people are going to believe you. Well, you know what? She faked herself out because people believe him. Okay, so with a narcissist, there's loads of manipulation. Check for her. Rituals, they have to have the rituals, like let me take off your boots and give you a glass of wine. And then the one time that he comes home, he notices she's busy in the kitchen, so he takes off his own boots. There's a big blowout fight. Okay, procedures, they have to go through, everybody has to, they themselves have to do procedures, and they put themselves through rigorous rules and routines, but they put others through the same rules and routines. Okay. Okay, so when you're talking about, and then there was Dr. Curry. I love Dr. Curry. Everybody did. Then the next day, Amber Heard wore her hair like Dr. Curry. Okay, and she's constantly dressing like him, which is really sick. It's so creepy. It's creepy, but that's what they do. They take on the personality traits and the acting, dressing, little, like if Johnny Depp would do something cute or laugh, she would try to mirror that. Anyhow, borderline personality, just so for some people who don't know what that is, because we all know about bipolar, and she was tested for that. She doesn't have that. Borderline personality is really a very difficult thing, and I don't wish this on anybody. I don't wish this on anybody's child, anybody's person, but borderline personality is part of the personality DSM. It's borderline personality disorder, BPD. instability in relationships. Can't keep relationships for shit, okay? They will fight with family members. They will fight with blood members. You know, people have your blood. Can't get along, or the family members disconnect from you because they just can't take it. They will fight with acquaintances. They will fight with best friends, and then those best friends can't take it anymore, and then they're out. Spouses will need to get a divorce. Anybody, they just can't maintain. Co-workers, especially co-workers, they're the ones who see it first because they don't put up with it, because they will lose jobs, they will lose positions because the mask slips, and then their real demanding personality comes out where they're not flexible at all. So instability in relationships, and relationships within themselves. They're very, like, picture yourself thinking about a million different things at once. Like, I did that wrong, I did this wrong, that person doesn't like me anymore, why did my mother say that, why did my aunt 10 years ago do this? And it'll all be going around in their head 24/7, 365. So you want to shut that off, or you want to control it. So it can be, some of it can be controlled with medication. Most of it has to be controlled with meditation, spiritual awareness, affirmations, but a lot of people don't do that. Okay, so they want the pill, and then what happens is sometimes the pills don't work, and the chemistry in your brain gets worse and worse, and then you stick a stressful situation or an argument with your spouse in the mix. And for somebody with borderline personality disorder, it goes really quickly. It just, they think about the trauma that they had in the past, and they think about how they got out of it, and they start trying to do that, whether it was they punched their way out of it, they ran away, they told somebody or told 10 people. They'll start to recreate that trauma that happened in their mind, as if it's the trauma happening right now. And they're two different things, okay? But, so instability with relationships with others and within themselves. They live in fear of abandonment. I for a long time I had that because I always felt like my mother left me, so I was always afraid of being left. And but I don't have this, trust me. I checked into it, okay? But a fear of abandonment to the severe extent that not just your boyfriend leaves you, but your best friend. But your best friend doesn't live near you. Your best friend lives over there, in a different country. The person with this borderline personality disorder will cry about that or just stress about that. Okay? Maybe I do have this. Okay? Anyway, so identity disturbance. No, I don't have that. So identity disturbance, and that's why I'm looking at her appearance, and I'm like, why the frig does she look so different? I go back and on my iPad, and I look at her in movies. She was stunning. She did look like Lauren Bacall, like a young Lauren Bacall, but she even prettier. She had the two dimples right here. Okay, yeah. So you get older, and you get heavier, right? You fill out, or you get too many fillers, right? I'm not pointing to myself because I haven't gotten a filler, as you can tell from my thin lips. All right. This is all fat, okay? It's the one good thing about fat. Anyway, but yeah, you can get plastic surgery, you could do that, but I just feel like sometimes when you're thinking in your mind a certain way, your whole aura will change. And I feel like her aura has changed. Johnny Depp, No, he just looks like an older man, because he is. You know, we're old. We're not, young 36-year-old or 35-year-old, okay? So literally, she could be his daughter. Sorry. Not sorry. Anyway, so she's a whole different generation. So they should have taken that into consideration before they hooked up. Anyway, so they borderline personality, they live in fear of abandonment. So sometimes they abandon the person. They break up with somebody in fear of that person's going to break up with me eventually, so let me do it. Okay? Because they need to have that control. They like having that control because they don't feel like they have any control anywhere else in their life besides their body, how they train their body, what they do with their body, and also, when they can manipulate somebody to do what they want and their narrative. Okay, so identity disturbance, you might see their hair and their clothes change a lot. Okay, when they're going out with different people, their whole energy will take on if the person they're going out with is very plain, then they will start dressing very plain and just plain colors. And you saw that with Elon Musk, when she was with Elon Musk. When she was with Johnny Depp, she did have more of a flair, because Johnny Depp is very colorful. He's very, cool and hip looking and, whatever, with the hat and the hair and, all the jewelry. And so you saw her, more lucrative, more like, she was a model first, so she was very beautiful, but you saw in her dress something very different than you're seeing now. And then you saw when she was with Elon Musk. Okay, so they take upon those characteristics, and you never know. In the courtroom, as I went through court, for myself, and my lawyer used to tell me, be careful with all the makeup, like you're not going to a disco, you need to look like more teachery, because it was for my job. You need to look more like, I guess, matronly, schoolmarmish. And yeah, I didn't like that she said that to me, because I want to be me. I always want to be me. So yeah, I don't think I changed my makeup, because I said this is how I dress for work. I always wore a lot of makeup. And she just said, just with your clothes. So then I wore more skirts to the court. And yeah, I was never flashy anyway. I'm not, inappropriate at all. I think I even bought a couple of things that I could wear to court, and just basically I would wear my black pants almost all the time, and just a nice top, but she just was trying to make it okay for me. And she was like, I know how they think and how they judge you. And so maybe Amber Heard is dressing down. Maybe she's no makeup. I mean, almost no makeup on that person. You can't even see her eyelashes. Maybe she has her hair arranged a little bit. But basically, the suits that are up to here, she's clearly dressing like Johnny. Because she's trying to take on his persona. Okay, that's on her. And maybe they told her, okay, you can wear that, I guess, if you insist. I mean, she doesn't look like she's easy to deal with. Okay, anyhow. So, identity disturbance all the time. Hair, clothes will change. Real or something. I can't read that. Fear of abandonment. Okay, so you just have to have, I think, 4 out of the 9. So one of them is fear of abandonment. I think she had that. Unstable. She didn't even like when he walked out of the room. Unstable or intense. Check and check. Number 3, they don't know identity. Yeah, they don't have a real identity. So there's an identity problem. Look at Chris Watts. Okay. Number 4, impulsive. Okay. I don't know if she was impulsive. I would need to read on that. Number 5, suicidal. I'm not sure. She might have been. That might have been talk. I think that she did admit to cutting. Number 6 is affects moods and shifts. It has mood shifts. Definitely. Mood shifts. Okay. Number 7, I feel empty and hollow. I feel like an empty, hollow shell. And that one really caused me pause, because I was like, that's when I had compassion. Because I said, you know what? I know people. Like as a teacher, and I was also an adjunct for, college kids. So I was around a lot of people in my life. And I've seen this. I've seen this in a lot of personalities, people that I've been around, even fellow colleagues and stuff. And I know that that is a horrible feeling. I've had a couple of friends and they would tell me, I feel empty inside. There's nothing inside. Like I could just die because there's nothing. I feel hot. I don't feel any hope for the future. I don't feel any faith in today getting better. And it was sad. And I would just try to build them up and try to, please, you have to know that tomorrow will be better. Yeah, today sucks. Well, it's a loss. You had a bad day. You're taking one down. You got to pick yourself up again. Or just say, you know what? Go to sleep early and just hope tomorrow will be better. Okay? But they would have not the ability to think it was going to get better. So they would incessantly talk about the problem for hours and hours and hours. And that's a hard thing for Johnny Depp. He was like, I'm tired. I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's just getting worse. We never get an answer, and she was like, no, we got to talk about it. You shouldn't walk away. We're never going to solve it unless we talk about it. No, it doesn't get solved. It doesn't get solved because basically you're talking about it in the wrong forum. And if there was any past of violence, there's going to be more violence. So you would be better off talking about it in front of a therapist after both of you are sober, not when anybody's under the influence of anything. Okay, just maybe your medication that keeps you stable. Okay, so affects the mood shifts. Number 7 was I feel empty inside. I feel like a hollow shell. And that's why they try to emulate everybody else, or the person that they care for, because they see that other person getting smiles and laughs and accepted, and they want that. So they kind of try to do everything that person does. It's creepy. It's creepy AF. Okay. So, but this is a disorder. All right. I hate to refer to Chris Watts. I'm not trying to say that Amber Heard is like Chris Watts, because she's not. Okay. But they said that Chris Watts had that borderline personality disorder as well, and that the way he hid it, everybody thought he was such a nice guy, but he hid it because he didn't know how to feel or act. So he got together with an empath. Shanann was such a sociable, outgoing person, right? And empathetic and, a vibrant and colorful person, right? You see the trend? And he would try to be like her. He wasn't, using the exact words or dressing, but she dressed him. She dressed him so he didn't have to think. Okay? So basically if he wanted to know how to feel, Shanann would tell him, oh, you should pat the baby, the baby's crying, pick the baby up. If, you know, if I say that I have a stomach ache, then you try to put dinner on and you try to clean up the house, you know, and then he would do it. But he had lists of what she told him to do because he did not know. And before Shanann was his mother. He didn't have a girlfriend before Shanann, and he was 28 years old when he got together with Shanann. All right, so it's a real thing, people. This is a real personality disorder, okay? And lots of things can be mixed in with it, okay? So, inappropriate, intense. Number 8 is inappropriate, intense shows of remorse. Right. Inappropriate. Okay, so number 8 is being inappropriate, like maybe being too dramatic over a little thing, or showing too much attention to somebody else and they're not your spouse. And maybe Johnny was seeing that, and that he is jealous. I'm telling you right now, he didn't have to be jealous with his girlfriend Vanessa, because she was very loyal and devoted to him. But this one, I don't need to say this one, Amber, was knew his trigger points, and but maybe it was all part of her personality, and she would be flirty and whatnot, and maybe she was not really wanting to settle with an older man. Maybe she really didn't have that much in common with him. Okay, she didn't like when he got together with his friends that were also older, the same age as him or older, because she felt she was too young, like it was above her. She couldn't hang with them. It wasn't her. But meanwhile, she had friends and a sister that was similar ages. So anyhow, you can never please them. Borderline personality disorder, the other person, the spouse, will always try to please them. At first, they act like they're pleasing you, and that they're doing all this to please you. But then they turn it around, they gaslight. Okay, so inappropriate, intense shows of something. And then I have number 9 is remorseful. And very quick to throw tantrums. Angry to sad. They can go from angry to sad in a matter of an hour. Okay. Okay. Anger at others and self. Yeah, and then they're saying that, I don't know if Johnny Depp was, he must have been tested or whatnot. I'm not 100% sure of what his diagnosis was, but they're saying that he had a lot of like manic depressive, bipolar personality, where he was angry at himself. Like he's mad at himself for making mistakes and like kind of beating up himself. So he didn't just take drugs or drink because he wanted to be happy. He took drugs and drank and smoked because he was angry with himself and what he has done in the past. And it becomes like a vicious cycle. Okay. I think that's all I have. Okay. Yeah, I read that. Okay. Then I just had this one last thing. The body language experts, okay? I listened to a few of them, and when all right, first I'll start with Johnny. When Johnny was up there, he did touch his nose, and usually sometimes people touch their nose when they're getting to tell a lie, but he didn't move from his seat, like I'm doing this with my nose because it's itchy. Okay. But some people say that you do that when you're about to lie. Anyhow, so what they said was he touched his nose once, feeling stressed, when you're feeling like you're in an uncomfortable situation, people are asking you questions, everybody, the world is watching everywhere, and you adjust your shirt, and he was pulling on his tie, and so the analyst said that was because he was very, very uncomfortable with not only the questions, that he was staring straight and answering the question, but feeling like, I gotta make myself, like soothing himself, I gotta make my throat open, so I don't feel like I'm strangled. When he looked up in the air and looked back and forth, they said that he did that when he was answering the question and rethinking what happened during the trauma. When he was talking about very explicit fights, they panned over and looked at Amber, and she was deadpan. She wasn't crying. She wasn't like pulling her skin off. She was sitting there like that. I mean, sometimes she looked pissed to me, but mostly when he's talking about a fight where he loses his finger, and he's saying he didn't do it himself. She's saying he did it to himself. You would show emotion because you would revisit that traumatic happening. She didn't do that. That's what they said, because it goes with your lymphatic system and your brain. Okay, so her eyes were going all over the place, and they say sometimes that means that's a lie. Touching your nose too much, which I didn't know this. Touching your nose too much is you're trying to get out of like answering that question correctly. So you have to make a lie up. So you'll look up, you look to the left, you look to the right, you look around, and you'll go like that, so that it's like it helps you to grab more time to make up something. And I didn't know that. Okay, there's a time where she adjusted her vest that she was wearing, her vest sweater, and the analyst said that that's another thing when you're getting ready to lie. You move around in the seat, which she did a lot of. Notice how she always put her water bottle, even when she was sitting over to the side, she put a water bottle on the floor. What's up with that? Put your water bottle on the table. Why on the floor? That's so weird. And same thing, when she was in the stand, she put it on the floor. Is she doing that so that she can have a chance to stretch down? Maybe that soothes her, that she can move down like that. Because I think everything should be right on deck. Right on deck. Table. Okay? Not floor. Okay, yeah, so basically what they were saying is there's deception. There's a lot of deception. Yeah, there's a lot of deception in her testimony. And that basically, the one thing that he did where he was self-soothing himself when he was talking about a traumatic thing, I think the thing with the finger, at one point, and you know how he has rings on every finger, like the guy in Stripes? He went like this, and he had his hair all back in the ponytail, and his hair like slicked back, which looks nice. It's nice and neat. And then she would do that. She would wear her hair all back. Anyhow, I'm not going to be a hater because she's somebody's daughter. So I hope she gets her help that she needs, because, it's not that I want her to be the most hated woman in the world, okay? Because I don't think she deserves that, especially if she had a lot of trauma in her childhood. I think that there should be a program that's set up for people who have personality disorders and brain diseases and bipolar and schizophrenia and all different things, and somebody's got to invent something that works better for the brain chemicals. And meditation, again, meditation and affirmations really do work. They've helped me and my people. I feel they have. So anyway, do I think he's jealous? Yes, I do think he's jealous. And sometimes, like, I was in a relationship, my other marriage, and I was with that person for 28 years, and so many times I was so jealous. And I would always say, when we go into a party, I would say, don't leave me alone, because I don't know anybody, and they're all your work people. And he would always leave me. Okay, and then I would be jealous because he was talking to somebody, and he would always try to say, oh, you're a weirdo, you're just a jealous person. But I would say, what about me saying, don't leave me? And that's the first thing you do, and I'm not going to say, oh, stay here with me and babysit me, because I'm not a baby. But still, he would do that. And so that relationship compared to when I'm with Devin, I'm never jealous. I mean, Devin could be very flirtatious with waitresses and just people. He's friendly. I would say flirtatious, and he would say, what? I was being friendly. And I would say, a little too friendly, Not that he would say, oh, I love your eyes, or, you got some nice body. If he said that, of course, that would be messed up. But no, he just will say a joke, and the person will laugh and, think he's the funniest person in the world. And then I'll be like, oh, laid it on a little too thick with that person. But I never feel like he leaves me, like he goes off and goes to another section, not that we go to any parties. Okay. Anyway, what I'm trying to make a distinction with in an awkward way is that some people bring out a worse side of yourself, the jealous side, the insecure side of yourself. And on the same token, he probably brought out the insecurity in herself. I don't know if she's ever had a successful relationship. I don't think she has. I think most of her relationships last 2 years. And with Johnny Depp, she knew him from 2012, got married in 2015, and I think they were divorced in 2016. So, not long. So, I mean, I don't know how much money she's spending on therapy, but they're not doing good for you. They're not doing a good job. So you really need to go within yourself and find another way to figure out that disorder. And the hard thing about it is, a lot of people with this disorder don't see it. They'll go like this: I'm really, like Chris Watts, I'm a quiet, nice guy. To this day, that dude says, I'm just a quiet, nice guy. I don't know why I killed my wife and kids. I think I just flipped out that day. Something took over. Okay, so going outside their body and disassociating and saying that something else is responsible for what their hands did. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Well, she says that, she disassociates, and then she also says she was just trying to protect herself. But there are other ways of protecting yourself, like leaving, calling the cops, going to, somebody's house and staying there and never going back. Okay? I call bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. All right. So that's my story. I'm sticking with it. I feel that, Johnny Depp should win some money because she defamed his character. She took loads of money, millions of dollars from him, opportunities from him. And you know what? Only God really knows exactly what happened. We could look at millions of papers of testimony. We can listen to a whole bunch of people next week and the week after, and the verdict might be what some people wanted and not what other people wanted. But you know what? In the end, people should go their separate ways and try to be careful to, of course, live a healthier lifestyle and get under control. Abusing, drinking, and drugs is not a good way of living. All right, and especially Johnny Depp's kids will be very affected by anything that comes of this, because they were brought up in the trial, and they, according to Amber, saw several things that went on. All right, we don't know what they think, because really just the daughter did speak out and said her father was the best person she knew. But who knows what the private person is going through, and especially children. And even if they're 16 and 15, or 17 and 15, whatever ages they are, I'm pretty sure teens, and they still deserve that privacy to respect their parents and go on with their life without having that stigma over them. So I'm glad that Johnny came with this countersuit. Even if he doesn't win, I am glad that he came to the table. It is very painful. You could feel it. You could see it, him sitting there. And I mean, some things are funny. We have a chuckle, but it's hours and hours of sitting there. And I'm sure he has to stay in a hotel. It's in Virginia. I don't know why it's in Virginia. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. I will talk to you, and namaste, everybody. Peace. Love each other, and try to love yourself. Figure out what makes you happy.